Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Ooh, look at this crazy hair. What else? So last week I gave kind of like a complete overview of if you were to go from the complete process of adding someone, doing your Hey Girl messages, building that relationship, and then inviting them, and whether that answer went to a yes or a no, thinking of that as a not right now rather than a no, and how you kind of would respond to some of those things, and how you would do some of those. Like I said last week, of course we can go in depth to all of those things, but I was just giving a general overview. Well, this week we're going to kind of go a little bit more in depth to tracking, because I think tracking, as far as understanding the whole general piece as to how that process goes, your next very important thing is going to be how you track all of that information. Because if you don't track it, people fall through the cracks and you forget about them, and you don't stay on track, and you might have missed some people who said not right now and who might have been ready the next month, or maybe 2 months from there. But 2 months ago, you're not going to remember who you were building that relationship or invited if you don't keep track of it somehow, or some way to remind you to check back in with that person. So I have gone through a couple ways of doing this tracking to really find what has worked for me. And it has taken a little while for me to be able to do that. But each person is different. Each person has to find their own way and what really works for them and makes sense for them. So even if what you are doing is not, or even what you're doing or what you think would work best for you isn't one of these examples, which I'm just going to show you the way that I track things, and talk about the ways that other people have tracked them as well. But I've literally tried now onto my fourth kind of tracking before I found something, taking off my shoes, before I found something that really worked for me. So if it's not working for you right now, don't throw in the towel and think it's just too hard. Maybe you just don't have the system that's going to work. Sorry, Chloe's chewing on something. Maybe you don't have the system that's going to work best for you right now. And that's okay. You can try something different. All right. So the first way I tried to track something, I thought it would be easier to do it online, because that's the way that my upline had been doing it, was doing it online. She used Excel, and she was tracking it by keeping track of when her Hey Girls were, when her invites went out, when she needed to follow up, if she did an invite to a challenge group, an invite to a coach, those type of things. And she did it within the Excel program to be able to track some of those things. Now, also, she worked for Google, so she was super tech savvy in that area of Excel and Google spreadsheets and Google documents and stuff like that, where I was not. But I tried to do that first to begin with, because it made sense. It made sense on the columns and how to do that and those type of things. So I tried that originally. So let me show you what that looked like first. Now, again, I haven't used this for a really, really, really long time, so the dates are definitely way off, but this is what it looked like. Let's exit out of all of this stuff. Right here, Beachbody stuff. Beachbody customers. And it's going to pop up at sundown. There we go. My computer's trying to update right now. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is how I first had it. I had a customers tab, and I don't know what I was trying to do with that. And I had a leads tab. Well, what I thought was trying to be a leads tab. But this was my customers tab. The first column that I had was, what did I need to do with them? Like, did I need to send out hey messages? Did I need to make some kind of contact with them? What was I going to do with them? Then here was the second column right here of their names. Like, who was I contacting? There's Courtney right there. And who was I going to contact, and what was their name? So I tracked that right there. The other first line was if they were a customer, if they were a personally sponsored coach, if they had already made that change. Then next right here was, what did I do with them? Did I give them a challenge pack link? Did I make a contact with them? Basically just a follow-up, a message, like a hey girl kind of thing is what that meant to me by that. And then if they were going to be plugged into a group, were they going to be in a challenge group? Now this was not specific. This was not the same as the way that my upline was doing it. This is just what I thought made sense to me. And then I put that right there. Then my next was some little tidbit of information about what they were interested, which challenge pack they were going to be doing, whether they didn't respond to me, and those type of things. The next thing that I put over here is if I put an offer into them, or a coach offer, which is like, was I looking at them as a prospect to be on my team, was in there also. So this is how I was doing it. And what I found for myself didn't really work well was that I didn't really update it that well. I do kind of like pocket power hours, where I do bits and pieces. Like I showed you guys my schedule in the previous video. I do bits and pieces throughout the day in my work breaks that I have. And I will do hey girl messages in the first one. I will do follow-ups in the next one. I'll do invites in the next break. So I was not able to keep up on my personal computer at work with doing it this way. So it just really wasn't making that connection. And I was having a lot of people fall through, and I didn't know who to check back in with because I couldn't see this spreadsheet. So it just really wasn't working well for me. And then I also had the next tab where I was trying to keep track of the leads that I was getting in the month. And then when I sent an email out to them, if I found them onto Facebook, those type of things. But it just was not, like I said, it wasn't working well for me because I didn't have access to it like I wanted to have access to it to be able to update it and keep track of people. So then I thought, okay, well, if I can't do it this way, I need to have something that's with me. Another thing that I am is I'm such a visual person. I'm like one of those people who like to have Post-it notes and like check off their list and then like throw away the Post-it note because it's gone and out of my view. So that means I finished it. So I'm a visual person. So I went then to like a paper pencil method. So what I then went to next was this lovely thing. Now you can laugh at me, but it made sense to me for a little while, and it actually worked for a little while. And then until I started contacting way too many people to keep track on this calendar. But this is what I did. So I had a color coding dot next to people on what that meant. Like, did I do a message to them? Did I send them an invite? Did they tell me no, not right now? Was a red. And then I would put them on a next date of when to follow up with them. But as you can see, as you were putting your follow-ups from the next month into here, it wasn't working. So I had people I would talk to that were already set for the day, for the whole entire month. Like this is, I was to talk to them this day, talk to them this day, talk to them this day, talk to them this day. But the people who told me no on this month, I plugged them into somewhere on to the next month. So that way I wasn't losing people. And if they told me no, they went somewhere else in the next month. So I would follow up with them in about 3 weeks or so, just checking to see what they were doing. And so people didn't come off of this. They just were moved. Unless they deleted my Facebook friend. Then of course they were taken off. But then they were just moved into a different date. But this started not to work for me because I was having too many people inside the boxes. So then it just was getting super messy. Like you can see this date, like there's just too many people squished into some of these. So it's starting to get really messy for me. Plus, do you see how big that thing is? There was no, okay, so I did try taking it to work with me so it would be in my car, but there was just no, it was not convenient. It was not functional actually in all aspects of what I needed it for. So then I moved to this method of a paper pencil. Smaller, right? It's just a basic notebook. I went and had people's names on it. And I literally probably used this for maybe about 2 weeks. And then I realized this was not working for me either. Because when I would go and try to mark the message of who I contacted or who I followed up with, see, I just have people's names on pages, which I really didn't go any much further than that because I couldn't find them. I had to like search page to find the person. And then I'd have to go to different page and different page and different page. And I had to take the time to make it alphabetical order. And then when I would add people in there, I had to put it into sections that were different from alphabetical order. And I had to go find that. And then I had to plug them in. And again, with how many people I was adding every day, it just was not making sense for me because it was taking forever. So for a little while in between those two methods, I tried Teamzy on the free trial, and I set it up and I got it going and it was actually working for me and it did what it needed to do. And then I had to pay for it and I was like, it's not that great for me to pay for it. So I tried doing that little notebook, but then I was like, this is not working for me. I need to find something else. But as far as like paper pencil method, before I go into the method that I'm currently doing right now, is some people have it organized with a larger calendar. So let me show you something like this. A larger calendar that looks something along this lines, where you have your what you need to do for the month, but then you have a little section like this, where you can do what do you need to do today, and you write down those list of people's names. What do you need to do today, and you write down those list of people's names. So similar to what I was doing with that larger big calendar, but something smaller like this, where you have two different sections, where you can see it as a month view, and then you can see it as a broken down daily view. That would be an awesome way to keep track also if you were really, really a paper pencil kind of person. Then that way you can plan ahead. You have two different areas that you can be writing things in, not just a monthly calendar view, but a daily calendar view. And that has really worked for some people who just really want to stick to that paper pencil method. Right now I am doing Teamzy, and I did pay for it, and it really helps me not lose people. And with how many people I'm adding daily, I'm adding 5 people a day, sending out tons of messages. It just keeps it all keeps it all tracked for me, and I'm able to have it on my phone. So when I do those little pocket power hour times, I'm able to grab my phone, put it onto Teamzy, do what I need to do on Facebook, add it on Teamzy, and it literally gives me like this checked off message, checked off message to say, you are 100% and you have completed everything you need to do for your non-negotiables. It literally tracks that you've done your workout, your Shakeology, your personal development, and your social media posts. So that is just the one way it's been able to work for me. So yeah, I need something that's quick and easy to use, and I can take it with me everywhere. But it also gives me that visual learner piece to where I can see it and I can know what I've gotten done for the day, which is awesome for me. And I can show you what that view looks like. Because everybody's different. The way that they are able to keep track of things in their mind is different from other individuals. So it's important to find a way that works for you. And honestly, it is not the same for everybody, and that's okay. So this is today. So this is what my Teamzy screen looks like. And this is why it helps me as a visual learner. So as you can see, Did I do my social media posts? Yes. Did I get my personal development done? Yes. Did I drink my shake today? Yep. And I got my workout done this morning. So right here, and all of these numbers are based on what my goal is. So I put what my goal is into Teamsy, and it tells me how many of those I should be doing. So did I get my ads in? I got all of those. I still have 1 invite to do left today. I still need to contact 1 more coach and 3 customers that I've had. And I've gotten all my prospects done for the day. I'm 56% done, completed. I'm halfway there. And it literally just keeps it all nice for you too. Plus it gives some other data information as far as graphs, those type of things, and your activity that you're doing and how much you're doing. So obviously when I just got back into Teamsy and setting it up, I'm getting back into it from there. But again, each person has their own way, and there's lots of different systems to be able to do that. But whether you use technology or you use paper and pencil, but what it comes down to is what keeps you organized, what keeps you in contact with people, and that you're not letting people fall through the cracks. That's basically it. So whatever type of person you are will vary in what type of system will work for you. But don't beat yourself up when you have not found what works for you best, because it just means you need to try something else. I mean, I showed you 4 different ways of how I have been tracking it, and I'm finally finding really what works for me. So even if you have to try out a couple different things, keep working on that until you really find what works best for you. But I hope you guys have a really great Wednesday, and I'll see you later. Bye.